Back to the Springs Radio Real Estate Show. I'm Cheryl Garlock with Colorado Front Range Properties, your host, and your realtor. I want to help you guys, so give me a call, 719-321-7600. Visit me at coloradospringsbesthomes.com. And you know what? By the way, if you ever miss a radio show and you want to do a replay on it or share it with somebody, just go to coloradospringsbesthomes.com and click on the extras tab there, and right below you'll see all of our broadcasts there, and feel free to go ahead and share that. And of course, you know what else we've got? We've got our special segments where our guests go ahead and go on air. We do a little YouTube under, let me think here. I think it's called The Blog. It's under the blog section there on our website there. So you can always find us right there. And Jeff's contact number for today's stuff and topics and afterwards today, he's happy to hear from you guys, is right there. So go to coloradospringsbesthomes.com and look us up. Hey, you know, we've been talking about some different trends in kitchen remodeling here. I was talking about some of the different countertops and choices that people have, and we were talking about quartz as being a really good option there as well. But let's talk a little bit about some of the other things. You know, when you do a kitchen, it isn't just the countertops.
Right. No, the big elements are the cabinets.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do there, the appliances, how they're going to look.
And you know, a lot of people will do, they will do new countertops,
right,
and then leave the old cabinets.
Right, which very often ends up in oops, that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
You know, you've got old 25-year-old cabinets, and you put brand new countertops on them, and they looked fine. The cabinets looked fine before because the countertops were all beat up. Now the cabinets suddenly look like crud.
Yeah.
Next to the new countertops, it'd be like, you know, you get damage on your car and you repaint the damaged part, but you don't repaint the whole side and it's all faded. It just makes it look bad. So,
yeah, it's not feathered.
Yeah. So, and we've had a lot of situations where people would have replaced the cabinets, but they bought a house where the owner had gone ahead and put new granite in on top of the old cabinets, and they don't like the cabinet the way they look with the granite, but to try and remove the granite is virtually, you can be pretty well guaranteed it's going to break.
Yeah.
So that's when we come in and we will either refurbish and make the cabinets look new again with the existing doors and repairing all the finish and bringing that up, or doing like we're doing at your house where we reface the cabinets, make new doors and overlay the front so that the cabinets look brand new on the outside. They're still the same cabinet on the inside. And in your case, many cases, they're very serviceable.
That's right.
But you just want them to look completely different than they used to. You're just tired of the oak in this case, or whatever it is.
Or whatever it is there. In our case, it's called pickling, you know. Yeah. Oh, gosh, I'm so sick of pickling. It's not even funny. But, you know, you guys, I'm going to have to tell you how those cabinets come out there, because Jeff actually is doing a lot in our house there. Right. And so we're tackling both the kitchen and the bathrooms and the wet bar.
Right, yeah, we're doing everything.
Right, so this is really, really good there. And so I'm really excited because, you know, a lot of times fundamentally the cabinetry is, I mean, when you get right down to the guts of it, it's a good wood.
Exactly.
And so it's really the cosmetic look to it that you need to address.
Exactly.
And so sometimes if you think about it and about buying brand new cabinets, that is certainly a choice. It's also kind of an expensive choice. And it doesn't mean that the wood that you're getting is necessarily as good as the wood you already have.
Exactly. It depends on the product you're buying compared to the one that you had in the past. So.
And you guys know too that when you go buy new kitchen cabinets, there a lot of times they come. You know, the shelf thickness, Jeff, is thin.
Yeah, it's very thin, and they sag real easily. All that kind of things.
Yeah, they really do sag. So so you have to really watch that. So sometimes your older shelves, and if you buy new cabinets, and then you want to go ahead and replace those shelves, well, that's a little bit of a penny. To kind of do that. But like if you're having ceramic plates and things like that stacked up on them, then of course, if it's a thin shelf, it's not going to support it.
Exactly.
Of course, if you're like my husband, he goes, if you have more than one plate on a shelf, you've crowded it. Going, really?
That takes a lot of shelves.
It does. It does. I remember when I first moved in, and he's going, "Oh my gosh, where are you going to put all those dishes there?" I'm going, "That's why you call it stack and rack, baby." He just couldn't quite get that one there. But finally, he got used to. So let's talk about starting this process. Okay, somebody's going to do a kitchen remodel here.
Right.
And sometimes you can do things backwards, and it's a real big problem, don't you
Right.
think?
Yeah. I've had a lot of people through the years, they ask me, where do I start? Some people think, well, do I need to go to an architect to get a plan or whatever? And no, generally architects are not. Your best bet is to go through a company that's going to be able to get the process started, which is generally going to be the cabinet company. If you're looking at replacing, and even if you're looking at refacing, because the cabinet layout, what you do with that layout, kind of determines everything else. That determines what the countertops are going to do, determines the appliances, all those types of things. And most of the cabinet companies, in fact, they all do, any company that's selling cabinetry or producing it generally has people who can actually design that layout for you and put it together for you. So, and then like I said, with refacing or refurbishing, going directly to a company like mine, where you're going to talk directly with the people who do that process. You don't need to go through a contractor to get that type of thing done.
Well, let's talk for a minute here about the latest trends in design. So we talked about countertops earlier, but
Right.
the cabinets, you're kind of setting a stage, so you're making a statement here.
Right.
So what are some of those latest trends on
Well,
the cabinetry?
Nationally, the shift is to much simpler looks.
Cleaner lines?
Cleaner lines. Up through 2005, we were still doing very elaborate kitchen cabinets with a lot of moldings, turnings, glazes, very, old world Tuscan looks, beautiful stuff. That has shifted, especially as the millennials are starting to grow up, and now what the direction has been to what we're calling, what's typically called a shaker look, which is a frame and flat panel like we're doing in your house.
Right.
That in either white or a dark espresso stain are the two most popular nationally. That's the shift. The next shift, and where it's starting to move to, is even simpler flat doors in a lot of different materials. There's so many choices where outside of wood, laminates, I can even get veneer granite, 1/8" granite that I can apply to a panel and make a door with that now.
Wow.
Metals,
Gosh.
it's crazy. The choices are going crazy, and I expect in the next five years from now, we're probably going to be seeing the bulk of all the work being very modern looking.
Wow, that's going to be great there. So that's wonderful. Hey, you guys, stay tuned for more from the Springs Radio Real Estate Show, because Jeff and I have got property showcase, and we've got a few properties that we really want to talk with you about, and you don't want to miss it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.